So we begin with first decoding the question. For decoding the question, we will be generously applying all the annotations. And to start with, write a magazine article for young people about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. You will see that I have already annotated. Magazine article is the purpose or the genre or the text type that we are going to write in. Our audience is young people, and that will decide that what is the register and the tone that we are going to adopt. Advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries will be our focus point when we are reading the text. In your article, you should, the instructions come in, evaluate the ideas and opinions in both text, give your own views based on what you have read in the text about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. Base your article on what you have read in both text, but be careful to use your own words. This is your writing objective number one that says you to articulate what is thought, felt, and imagined. And you have to remember that articulation is always done in your own words. Your feelings and your thoughts are your personal, so of course you will be writing it in your personal expression. So please do not be guilty of lifting up the phrases and sentences from the text and writing it. You will be losing marks. Address both of the bullet points. Begin your article with a suitable headline. Now, this is very important instruction related to the text type. We are to do it because it is so explicitly written over here to write the headline. Write about 250 to 350 words. The word count is this. Up to 10 marks are available for the content of your answer and up to 15 marks for the quality of your writing. The content of the answer, that is your 10 marks, that will be coming from the reading objectives, the way we analyzed the two texts yesterday and how we are going to do it today. You will be further gaining your understanding on that and you will follow it. 15 marks for the quality of your writing. So I will be telling you that what should be the quality of writing when you are writing an article, and you will follow through. Children always begin with the big picture in mind. What is going to be the end result? And the end result is to achieve these objectives. When you are finished with your with writing of your article, these all objectives should have been achieved by that time. Okay, and it goes that articulate experience and express what is thought, felt, and imagined. You people are guilty of making this mistake that you pick up the phrases and the clauses from the text and you just reproduce them in your text, and that is wrong. See, your feelings and your thoughts are your personal things, okay, and they should be shown coming off on the paper as your personal expression, and this is the objective of the writing assessment. So if you are not doing this, and if you are copying and pasting, it will simply get the deduction on the marks. Then organize and structure ideas and opinions for deliberate effect. Now, what effect you want to create on your on your reader? Is that you want to make them focus on the advantages of the traveling, you want them to focus on the disadvantages of the traveling, or you want them to give a balanced opinion about both of them. So whatever is in your mind, whatever the evaluation you have come up after the careful reading, you have to structure your entire writing accordingly, and for this you have to plan first. Make accurate use of spelling, punctuation, and grammar. You all have to concede this thing that there are mistakes in capitalization, there are mistakes in use of proper nouns, there are mistakes in use of bland and banal sentence structures that lack in variety. You people use very, very simple vocabulary, as simple as nice, good, bad. You just have to get rid of this vocabulary. This will not take you anywhere. Use register appropriate to the context. Now, register, I'm going to explain you register and tone in detail in the next slide. Use a range of vocabulary and sentence structures appropriate to the context. Use a range of vocabulary. You see over here that whatever the vocabulary you are using, you have to keep in mind that it is correct to the context. If the word trudge would not go in place of run, so you better use run rather than trudge, because trudge means to walk over the high land with difficulty, and run means to simple run. So if you are, let's say, having a stroll in the garden, having a jog in the garden, better to say run rather than trudge, because it will make the examiner, your examiners are not fooled. They will have a clear idea that you are using the vocabulary in the wrong context. Your vocabulary choices should be fitting to the context. One more thing, you will not be using the basic vocabulary at all. Just get rid of it. And sentence structures. Sentence structures are many. There are simple structures, then there are compound and complex and compound complex. So you will be using the variety of the sentence structures plus with the variety of the starters, like starting your sentence. One basic way to start a sentence is what? Subject, then verb, and then object. Now you can bring the variety in here. You can place an adverbial phrase first and then go on. You can place a prepositional phrase first and then go on. If you do not know about the inverted sentences and the cleft sentences, keep tuned to my channel because I will be covering that, and this will bring a lot of variety in your sentence structure and your expression will become unique and stylish. Okay, and for the reading objectives are already covered in the last video, and the link would be appearing somewhere at the right corner of the video, and you can go and review that. So going on to the next slide where I am explaining you the register and tone. So keep tuned. Very important to know what is the difference between the register and the tone. Your register can be formal, it can be informal, it can be neutral, technical, colloquial, or it can be literary, depending upon the task that you are having in your hand. Your tone can be informative, your tone can be persuasive, your tone can be humorous, your tone can be sarcastic or authoritative. Now, let me give you the example to understand. What is your name? Now, this question is an informal question. So, the register is informal. The tone is friendly. What is your name? Now, see the next variant of it where I am asking the same thing using using different register. Could you please tell me your name? Now, here, what is the register? Register is rather formal. You will not be using this register with your friend or with any person of your age you are meeting for the very first time. You would not be saying like, could you please tell me your name, until and unless that person is from the hierarchy or that person is superior than you, on the basis of the age, on the basis of the ranking. The third one, I humbly request the divergence of your esteemed name. I repeat, I humbly request you the divergence of your esteemed name. Oh my God. This register is highly formal register. And what is the tone over here? The tone is extremely sophisticated. You would see the choice of the words over here. So when you are using the register in tone, you have to keep in mind that who is the audience. If you're talking to the young people of your age, you will be using conversational tone. You will be using some colloquial expressions. You will be using a chatty tone, and you will be using the register that is familiar, that is semi formal, or that is informal to a little extent. But when you are talking to the young people and having an informal conversation with them, you would be keeping these slangs and dangers of using the Gen Z words, okay, at bay. Do not use them, because you have to bear in mind that, okay, it's quite a flex to use these Gen Z terms, okay, and you appear to be, in the trend and you are up in the market, okay, but right now you are writing your exam paper, and there your language skills are to be tested. So if you are showing up the street language because you know that language, is not going to do you any good. You have to keep your language, your register and tone fitting to the context, and it should be academic. When you are starting your work, always start with a plan. The plan should always be there. And as I told you in my previous video related to this topic, I gave you an acronym, and that is PART, part. Okay, that is now when we have perused the question and when we have annotated it, now we are in clear mind to know that what's the purpose of our writing. The purpose of our writing is an article. What is the audience? The audience is young people. Therefore, based on my audience would decide that what will be my register. So my audience is young people, so therefore my register is going to be informal. My tone should be persuasive, informative, and humorous. Why humorous? Because humor is very well appreciated by the examiners. So that is why I always instruct my students, I always motivate my students to bring some humor in the writing. Okay, so you see that when your examiner is checking your paper, grading your paper, there is a small smile on the face and the mood is lifted up and they feel happy. So always use humor, because humor is something that not all the students can be good at. So if you have this in your personality, or if you can develop it, go for it. Otherwise, be motivational, be persuasive, and be informative, because you are to actually making the young people agree on what you are, whatever the viewpoint is. Have this plan when you're starting your task. Have this plan. Generously use your insert paper. Okay, insert paper is not to be, handed back. The question paper will be handed back, your insert paper will never be handed back. So you can use the insert paper for scribbling down whatever the points, for scribbling down your plan, because it will keep you on the track. Okay, given this time management and given this exam scenario, you know that everyone is on the nerves. Got it? And we can't blind away this fact. This is quite factual. So these things will be helping you in time management and completing your task, and complete your task nicely before time, and then having a time for the revision and editing also. So have always the plan first, create a plan and then do it. So students, what is a magazine article, and on what topics we do write a magazine article? See, magazine article is for the wider audience, and the magazine article topics are related to social trends, to the cultural trends, to the existing practices, or they can be historical, or they can be belonging to any aspect of the society that is pervasive and that is long standing. An article can be written on that. Let's take an example of the article topic that you are going to write, and that is traveling. Okay, so since time immemorial, people are traveling. That is something that it is a part of the society. Okay, other topics that you can be covering in the magazine article is, let's say, IT, AI, dramas. You can write articles on exam situations, exam pressure. You can write articles on how to maintain a healthy weight. You can write articles about body shaming. So articles, the magazine articles are written on the social issues, on the cultural issues, on what is trend, what is fashion in the society. News newspaper article are inversely opposite. How? They are written to break in the news. Okay, something happened, an incident happened, and then you have to give the report to the people. You are telling to the people that what happened, how happened. So the structure is different. The magazine article structure is different, and the newspaper article structure is different. Now, when you are writing the news article, you will begin with specification. You will begin with the specification, and then what, when, where, how something happened. Okay, and then you will go into the details, extending it, and then you will be coming up with some eyewitnesses account and some recommendations from the designations, right? In the magazine article, you are completely going opposite. You are starting from generalization, of the topic, and Then on you are moving on to these specifications. In this case, when our topic is traveling, so here you will be starting with a very general beginning, that is very general introduction, that you will be speaking about traveling. Okay, and you can start it in various ways. The generalization, now focus on this, I have spoken that it should be general. Generalization introduction should be there, but it should be linked to whatever you are writing, and the introduction should always be attention grabbing. So, for an attention grabbing introduction, you can use various literary devices, and like there are rhetorical questions, or you can come up with a quote, or you can come up with your personal anecdote. Okay, so this will make your the first beginning very attention grabbing, and this, will hook the readers, will hook the examiner to explore further what you are writing. Then on you will be coming on to the specifications. The specifications, like you will be now picking up the instructions on the task, okay, and you are going to write as per accordingly. Okay, so the disadvantages are there and the advantages are there, so you will be giving your analysis on it. Okay, and then you will be coming on to the evaluation. In your evaluation in magazine article, what I say, should always be balanced, because in magazine article you are not thrusting, you are not trying to shove down the throat your own personal opinion. Okay, you have to persuade them. Persuasion is always done in a very balanced way. Persuasion is always done in a way that make a person intrinsically motivated to accept that what you are saying. Okay, so forcing someone to do that, may saying someone that okay, this is the only choice, and if you are not going to do that, there is no life out there, and you are, your whole existence is lie. No, that is not the thing. You have to come up with a balanced evaluation in the way that very craftily, very skillfully, your reader is agreeing to what you are saying. That is the persuasion. Okay, and then in the end, you will be coming up with the conclusion. Now, in conclusion, you will not be coming up with any point that you have not stated earlier. Okay, you will be coming up with a surefire conclusion by restating the points, restating what you have written, okay, in new wordings, in new phrases, and ending it with a line that would stay in the memory of the reader for a very long time. Okay, so this is how you are writing your magazine article. I hope that you have understood it. Going back to your text, this is text A, and I have highlighted all the points which are actually telling me about the disadvantages of traveling traveling to the other countries. Okay, so this text is actually written in favor of staycation, and the writer is actually, coming up with arguments that why traveling to other countries is not eco-friendly, it is not good in any way. Let's say that here I have underlined, I have highlighted, hop on a fuel guzzling airplanes and travel thousands of miles to far-flung lands. It means that fuel guzzling airplanes, it means that she is talking about the uh, carbon footprint. Then paying ridiculously high prices to enter crowded tourist attractions and then getting ripped off in restaurants by paying twice as much as locals. So again, she is saying that it is not budget friendly to travel across the countries. Okay, then she is saying it's eco friendly to travel in your own country. It's eco-friendly, public transport, cycling, and even walking. So here also, this can be making an argument that you are using public transport, cycling, and even walking. That can be done in while you are traveling across the other countries also. Okay, and then the another thing is gain knowledge about your own culture. Okay, so here also you can develop an opinion that we are no more culture that is specific to our own nationality, to our own identity. Yes, our culture preservation is very, very important, and we have to preserve our culture. But at the same time, at the rate of the uh, in at the rate of the advancement of the world, we are just this globe is shrunk in a global village. Now we say this: we are living in a global village and we are global citizens. Okay, so it is imperative on us to know the knowledge of the other cultures. Okay, and while we preserve our own culture, we should be knowledgeable about the other cultures also, because we are global citizens. And if we are unaware and ignorant of the other cultures, how we are going to function is this in this globalized world. Okay, so you can develop a very strong opinion over there from here. And then this person is very much concerned about pollution. Reduce your carbon footprint. Okay, be there at your own locality. Okay, and keep on reducing your carbon footprint. But here also a very strong argument can be built on that. We've seen that there are so many cars on the road, and how is that we are not being a part of carbon footprint while we are in our own locality? We are actually. So this is a baseless fact that this person is giving. Now going on to the next test. Okay, so this is text B, written by a young person, and it is saying it's human nature to want to see and try new things. For young people, traveling to other countries opens their eyes to how fascinating and varied the world is. Traveling is educational. Okay, so here I have highlighted, this is a point which I will be using in my article. You can practice a language, learn about different cultures and attitudes, and try new and exotic food. So this is an enriching experience. If you remember, I gave you a mnemonic on sparkle specs. Okay, you can use it. So this traveling is actually leading to self exploration, and it is leading to self discovery. It is related to cultural understanding. More cultural understanding is there. Be brave and step outside your comfort zone. Of course, be brave and step outside comfort zone is your self discovery. Okay, what is there inside you? You are going to test yourself that what are you from within. Okay, and I went traveling after my A levels, and I can honestly say it changed me as a person. I had to live on a really tight budget, but I've had opportunities to do amazing things. Okay, so people learn to know how to get go the life, and see places that were breathtakingly beautiful. I also made lots of new friends. Okay, new friends in the international country, so it means the global friends. Along the way from different countries, we learned so much from each other. Mostly we had far more similarities than differences. Okay, so this is zeroing in on a very important value that is missing in our society, and that has to be lived by all of us, and that is patience and tolerance, and that is acceptance of the differences around us. Okay, and then traveling made me realize I had been too caught up with owning all the right stuff, when in reality my needs were very simple. So a little, idea of minimalist approach is here. Okay, having little to live your life, and the happiness lies in little things. Okay, I now spend my money on experiences, not things. Traveling taught me that you don't have to pay to watch a sunset and enjoy great company, or hike through a forest, and you can survive with what you can carry on your back. It made me grow up and help me become a much nicer person as well. I would advise all young people to get out and see the world. It's smaller than you think. Okay, so here, traveling the world, having the enriching experiences, okay, exploring your own personality, developing your own personality, knowing that what you are from inside, your expansion of intrapersonal and interpersonal skills is there. Okay, and the values are embedded in you, the patience, the tolerance, okay, that are a missing thing, a missing element in our society, okay, nowadays. Okay, and we have to embed this in our daily lives practices. And when you are traveling, you are actually living those moral values, you are practicing those moral values, and you know that it was there inside you, but you did not come to know until and unless you did not put yourself in the situation where you see your truer self. Okay, so understanding your own self is very important. So here, my children, there are so many good points that can be easily used by you in coming up with proper evaluation of the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to the other countries. Okay, while you are writing your article and you have introduced your topic, and then you are coming up with the specifications. There you are doing the analysis. And if you remember, I told you that evaluation cannot be done without the analysis, and by focusing on the advantages and disadvantages, you are actually analyzing both the text. Okay, then you will come up onto your conclusion, your evaluation, where you will be coming up with a balanced evaluation. Again, remember, you do not have to shove down your viewpoint to the other person's thought that no, this is the thing and you have to accept it. You will be very persuasively, very informatively, okay, and very encouragingly, motivatingly, you will be telling everything, okay, having a very hidden, having an implied emphasis on what is your point, okay. And then you will be coming on to the conclusion. The conclusion should be very nailing, it should be leaving a lasting impression on the reader's mind. So now I hope that I have helped you in all the ways that will be fruitful, that will be effective in writing an article properly. So, evaluation is here, and I have written a model evaluation for you. Students, you are found when you are writing the evaluation to come up with these kind of phrases that it is baseless to say this doesn't make any sense. No, actually, you have to keep in mind that you are writing for the magazine article, okay, and there you have to be civilized. So come up with a very balanced evaluation, right? So the way I have started it goes like this: while the advantages of traveling to other countries are numerous, it is important to consider the potential disadvantages as well. Financial considerations and safety concerns require careful planning and preparation. Language barriers and cultural adjustments challenges may pose initial hurdles, but they can also provide opportunities for personal growth and learning. By being mindful of these factors, individuals can make informed decisions and mitigate potential drawbacks, allowing them to fully embrace the advantages and transform their journeys into life enriching experiences. You see, the last line, life enriching experiences, is very, very clearly, very explicitly telling that what you have finally come to evaluate, what is your evaluation. Okay, you have given the evidences also that are subtle, and these are nuanced. Okay, it will not be hitting someone below the belt after reading your evaluation. They would not be, having long faces, having hard feelings against you, that how the writer has treated us, okay, and he is making us force that we go to the other countries though we do not want to, and if we are going for local adventure, so that is something baseless, that is stupidity. Okay, you have come up with a very very mm, uh, as a very very good communicator, as a very good persuasive person, and in this way you can make them agree on whatever your viewpoint is. And you see the language over here, language is carefully chosen. You will see that there are different sentences structures, and there are variety of the sentence starters used over here that is bringing richness in the writing. Okay, so you have to be careful about it.